co-founder of Dash Next and Dash Thailand.
Too many titles, guys, I'm sorry. I keep it short, simple, and hopefully to the point. Always good to have George as a speaker before me because it's something really I can relate to and want to tell a little bit more about also decentralization, about building the organizations of the future and tell you a little bit of what we are doing with Dash. So as he just said, I'm the co-founder of several projects within Dash, essentially the Asian parts within Dash. Most of you might know we're like one of the kind of grand daddies in the space. We launched 2014, way before the ICO hype. In fact, way before any ICO was done, so we didn't do that. We just started to create a blockchain. We're a Bitcoin fork, and people start mining Dash, and it became something big, and we are very happy now that 5 years later, we are still here and actually doing great things. So what Dash is doing is very simple. We don't put love or anything on the blockchain. We have one straightforward use case, which is payments. That means we go around and establish payment ecosystems and payment solutions all over the world, in all industries and on all verticals. So we're right now, I think, number 20 on CoinMarketCap, roughly like 600 million, something like that, market capitalization, high trading volume. We're listed like at almost all the exchanges. I would say like 80 to 90% of the exchanges around the world, we are there. And again, we do one thing, crypto payments. The good thing with crypto payments is that we are actually in a situation where even though Bitcoin is there since 2009 and everybody was talking about, hey, now you can buy a cheeseburger with Bitcoin, we now fast forward 10 years and still you cannot really do it. So one thing we kicked off here in Thailand was going out and really building a merchant ecosystem. So all of you, we invite you to approach us and we can show you around how you can get a big belly with great Thai and other foods here in Bangkok. You can also book personal trainers, do yoga, get a tour guide. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Dash and also other cryptocurrencies in Thailand. So I think we were one of the first to build it up here. And now we go to the next level already. That's why we founded. We have two projects, Dash Thailand with the merchant and ecosystem focus here in Thailand. And the second one is Dash Next, where we go around the world and scaling on all industry verticals, partnerships in the payment areas, right? And as you can imagine, we're like in a blue ocean of opportunities. Or to say, I mean, we're now 10 years later, still there is no crypto payment. So wherever we go, to every industry we go, we find actually big opportunities. And everybody's very willing to talk to us the moment they understand what we can do for them. And what we can do for them is actually very simple. We go out and say, hey, we can connect a crypto payment solution. It starts with Dash. Very obviously, you can also add other stuff once you have one cryptocurrency. It's like baby step to connect something else. And then we show you that we can bring additional business to your business, to the business you have, because there is a lot of crypto people who want to spend their cryptocurrency. It's not that everybody is doing it. Most of you have never bought a cheeseburger or a pizza or anything with your cryptocurrency and you're just trading for now. But of course, the more these people increase, the more the traders increase, the more the number of people who do something else with it increase. So what we did, for example, this year was very big in the travel industry. We now have 4 or 5 different booking platforms that adds up to a total of over 4.5 million hotels. You can book around the world with Dash and other as well. You can book 600 airlines. We have shared apartments coming up. So all of that, the moment you create a use case and the moment you create essentially an end-to-end solution, people are very willing to talk to you, right? I mean, look how many travel platforms, to keep with this example, are out there, right? Once you have a case and say, hey, this is what we did. We helped this platform to connect crypto payment. We gave them a way to exit to the fiat money they want. So it's a Singaporean company, they get Singapore dollars. It's a European company, they get euros at the end of the day. And then we show you, hey, by partnering up with us on the marketing side of things as well, I can prove to you that there will be additional customers coming in, booking the hotels. And you can obviously see how many people come and pay with crypto after that, right? But obviously, again, it's all verticals we connect. And to give you some more examples, I mean, in order to make that happen, it's important that you bring the bits and pieces in place to make these end-to-end solutions work. And let's be honest, right? Who cares for crypto who is not in crypto? Exactly no one. So what we have to do is provide people customer-centric solutions not only for the end customers, but also for the merchants to understand what is actually the value we bring, right? So you have to put together POS systems, payment providers, payment gateways, exchanges, and all of that has to integrate in a really easy way that people don't have to care about the technology behind, don't have to care that their private keys get lost or hacked or whatever, right? You have to provide end-to-end solutions. And again, there's a whole blue ocean of opportunities there. It's not only retail, online, offline, obviously travel I just mentioned, but there are other industries, gaming, gambling, porn. I just come back from a big conference in Malta about CBD, right? So it's a huge growing market where suddenly like people have like kind of cash problem in the marijuana and CBD industry because still regulations are a bit difficult to go around with, right? So connecting crypto solutions really helps and solves problems. In the US, for example, we do a lot with the dispensaries where the dispensaries still cannot get bank accounts because of the national regulation in the States, right? So people want to buy weed there, they come and they have really a cash problem, right? So this is something where we help with. Again, I just mentioned it, you know, in order to make it happen, you have to partner up with companies, and this is essentially the point. We are Dash, like Bitcoin. It's nice to be Dash, yes, we do, I think, a good job and getting out there and still on the top of coin market cap, but again, we will go nowhere if we don't have partners, and if we are not able to settle anything in fiat. And of course, neither Bitcoin nor us can go around the world and acquire licenses and banking licenses in every single country. It's just not viable, and nobody can pay for that, right? So you have to partner up with companies who have it, go market by market, go industry by industry, and regulation by regulation. And only that way you can make it happen at the end of the day. To give you some examples, I mentioned the hotel platform, so this is one of them. They do it actually in a very interesting and clever way. It's called Hotelier Mart. Singapore-based, and once you register there, you become part of a travel club, and that enables them to give you business rates, right? So if you book anything in Dash, in this case, you can save between 5 to 40% on your travel by accessing B2B rates. Another thing, very proud to work with these guys, is a Korean company called BlueCon. I have this little baby here. It's right now in the beta test. We're going to do 3 things with them. This card is a South Korea public transport card. So with this card, you can ride the public transport system in whole South Korea. It also integrates into 10 million shops in South Korea, where they're partnered with the big companies there. Lotte is one of them. You might heard of them. So you can use this card to ride the subway, to get your McDonald's, to then go in the taxi and essentially do everything with this card. Number 2, we're going to launch an international public transport card with those guys. So we are talking to various public transport systems around Southeast Asia. Hong Kong is going to be on the roadmap. I hope Thailand. I hope the guys want to talk to us. If you're here, please approach us. So Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea to launch with, but then it can integrate into everything. And number 3, and this is actually the best thing, is a debit card, Visa and Master, which works in a very beautiful customer-centric way, essentially by just spending your crypto balance on your exchange account. So we are in beta test with DigiFinex for now, but then other exchanges are already lining up for it. Where you as a user, you have a Dash balance in this case on your exchange account with DigiFinex. You use your MasterCard, and in real time, you spend your balance there for a 1% fee. So from the customer side, I think it's a very good way. And from our perspective, of course, it's a big win, because the moment this card launches, beginning of next year, we're going to be into millions of POS systems, point of sales, everywhere Visa and MasterCard is accepted, essentially. But actually today, this story I told so often, and I bore myself already. Now it's December, and I really want to, this was a bit what we did in 2019 and the success story of 2019. I want to give you a bit of a vision of what the plan and my vision is for next year. And this was hopefully a good starting point, because in Malta we just won the DAO Building of the Year award. It's the building of decentralized autonomous organizations. So in this, my speaker was already pointing out the different Web 2.0, Web 4.0, and in my perspective, yes, tech is important, but at the end of the day, we need to create businesses, and we need to create businesses in a way that kind of leverage the technology we have, right? So I mean, the key point is not building businesses that then have an IT to do, but creating and designing a business that already leverages all the technology we have in a way to do better business, get more customers, save more money, have higher efficiency, right? And I think the reason why we won this DAO Building of the Year award is especially not about the technology, it's about the system Dash runs for a long and very successful time. So Dash has a very unique funding systems. Like other coins, we print money in the internet, that's fantastic, and it's an awesome business model in some way, up to a point. But from this money we create, 10% of that is always allocated for everything within Dash. So the whole operational budget within Dash comes from 10% of the coins generated, which is roughly 6,500 Dash per month, right? And with this money, everybody can pitch for this money everywhere in the world. You don't have to do, I mean, you have to follow the rules into a system, into like an internet system, a voting platform. You say, I have an idea for Dash. In our case, that was saying, hey, there is no payment ecosystem in Thailand. Let's build one. This is what we need. This is what we deliver you. This is the time we need to execute. And after, we have to prove that we use the money wisely. So this way, Dash built up teams all around the world. And you know, this enables us to do exactly what I say, to go to different industries in different countries, to talk to regulators, and to make things happen by thinking local, acting global. And the important thing this mechanism does, right, is twisting the organizations we know. Usually we have organizations with the head, there is a CEO, then there is the mid-management level, people down the line, until like people cleaning the rooms. So there's a whole hierarchy of things, right? What we do is say, no, like there is no HR department, there is nobody you pitch for. You pitch into a community proposal system, and then there is a democratic process of voting for you, right? And in this way, Dash does not have any CEO, has a complete flat organizational structure. And to be very honest with you, I mean, now you hear me talking about it, but I can tell you, once you work in that kind of environment and that system where the money flow in an organization is completely different, you really have a completely different understanding of how organizations usually work, and it's very hard to grasp if you not work in this organization, right? I mean, what we're building here, and this is essentially the point, is now, obviously, since we have the internet, we use technology to do our business, right? So where many organizations were very human-driven before, later since the internet, we always have we building these systems which are like partly human, but we try to use the internet and all technology to facilitate work, to make processes easier, right? And now we have this DAO concept, which is in fact very radical, right? So now you can essentially build completely autonomous agents either as a complete organization or as a part of your organization, right? So now you have human processes, mixed human-machine processes, and completely code-run processes, right? And now, I mean, for me, my vision for the Web 4.0 really is like how to build this stuff in a way that it interacts with each other and in a way that it makes organizations more profitable, right? I mean, the more you can actually run an organization only as a piece of code without the humans, most probably many things will be more efficient, right? Reality is the world is not working like that, and I mean, look at in your organization, where do you need humans? Where do you need team meetings? Where do you need like all these little human points of interaction and of running a business? And what it really comes down to is like, I mean, building it in a clever way that you can automate these processes, right? I mean, what it does on an organizational level, definitely, it flattens out hierarchies. You have the opportunity to build or to create really different incentive models, right? As I said before, I mean, a simple example is saying, hey, we usually have a hierarchy in organizations, and there's like the top management earning something between 200 to 500K, then there's mid-management, something between 80 and 150K, and everything lower, right? So just imagine you can take this 500K and distribute it throughout your company on the lower levels, right? Because you don't need a CEO. Just imagine that, right? And imagine what it enables other people to do. And also it enables you to have completely decentralized teams, right? So it's very easy for you, if you live in India, to be part of an organization which just exists in the internet, compared to, hey, try to get to Europe and get a job there. Good luck with that. It's basically not possible. And again, it's really about leveraging technologies, and it's not, I mean, we don't build suddenly organizations completely without humans and without interactions with each other, right? The point is, if you take like usual innovation approaches, they will all tell you, you know, like an organization have different levels and different bits and pieces, right? One is the organizational culture, the way you define processes, the way your employees are treated, the way the processes work for HR, for everything. You have clients, you approach them, you have channels, you talk to them, right? So it's really about designing an organization that then focuses on these three elements I mentioned: human, human machine, and completely machine, right? And the question is, how can you design it in a way that you make a better organization or a more competitive organization in terms of incentives for your employees, in terms of products for your clients, in terms of efficiency of business processes, of the way the finance works in the background, and all that. So I'm a bit over my time already. I hope I didn't talk too fast, but if that's the case, talk to me later, and I will take time to talk to you. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Felix.